get my notes here. You told me yesterday you started duck hunting. Your grandpa would take you down to the boat dock.
Yeah, Rockwood Boat Dock.
House Inman.
House Inman. He run it. And my grandpa had a little, I think it was either a 12 or 14 foot V-bottom, because we trot line fished. And he had a little 6-horse Johnson on it. And he would let me take it down. I'd go down as far as Qualls Holler. And
Which is now Crystal Cove.
Which is part of Crystal, full of houses and just a whole lot of memories. A lot of memories in there for a lot of folks, you included.
Yes. Barn burners on that low point.
Yeah, and that's where I'd go hunting. House Inman give me, he had a little old house down there, boathouse, by his gas pumps. And he had 6 paper mache duck decoys, and he gave those to me. I think they were quack, and that was the decoys I used. And
Did you ever hunt with House?
Never did. Never did.
He hunted though, didn't he?
Oh yeah, House hunted, and but he was about the time I got going is when he had stopped.
Yeah.
You know,
I always heard he hunted like
Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Coke Beach Point.
Yeah.
That sandbar.
Yeah, that's right.
So from there, you kind of run into who got me into duck hunting, Larry Elsie.
Yeah, I was working at Rome Theater. I was about 14 years old, and I met Larry. He hung out over across the street at Pete Brady had a gas station there at that time, and so I kind of met Elsie through there. And
did you know Larry before then? Or?
No, I knew who he was. We're actually distant kin, and I always heard of him and about him, and he actually invited me to go duck hunting. And I think first time I went, Garland Fugit went with us, and it was just always a blast to hunt with them too.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I hunted a lot with both of them, and that's who got me started.
Yeah.
He drug me around.
Yeah.
Picked me up for probably 13 to 21.
Yeah, I remember him turning the corner there at the old highway patrol station, coming down Kingston Avenue. I'd be standing out there on the side of the road waiting on him, and by the time he turned the corner, I could hear either Creedence Clearwater or Blue Oyster Cult playing.
Bronco?
In that Bronco, yeah. And
probably an 8-track.
Yeah, it was. And those were the golden years there.
He's a dandy. And I think I was about 13, so that'd been 83, 84 when I started.
Right.
I ran around with Scott Albertson, who lived beside Larry.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember being over there in the summer, and Larry's buck boat was still in the water from the winter, and still had duck decoys in it. And I'd never hunted anything. Just something about that grabbed me. And I was hooked.
Oh yeah.
That winter started going. Mom and Dad bought me a shotgun. I laid in there with Larry and had a blast.
Oh yeah, Larry's he's responsible for getting a lot of young kids into duck hunting.
Oh yeah.
I always said him and Garland was the real duck commanders.
Yeah, they were. You looked at back then.
Yeah.
Army green field coats.
They took me, and of course you too, back when before you was able to drive, you didn't have a boat or anything, you know. And
I remember that we always went to Oak Ridge Sporting Goods.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You got visit.
Yeah, Oak Ridge Sporting Goods. Yeah, been there many a time.
Visitor on the set. Somebody, I don't know, I guess that's Jason's dog.
Yeah. Cash.
So where did you hunt with Elsie? You could everywhere?
Oh, we hunted everywhere. You know, we hunted Qualls Holler. We hunted down. We went as far as Iron Hill Island. You know, we never did go down because it was a long boat ride. You know, we never did. I don't think ever did go down past Iron Hill Island. We might have went to Twins a few times, but
where were y'all putting in when you
most of the time we were putting in Hogback Ridge.
Okay.
I remember one time, there was a year, I guess it was 77 when the lake froze over.
Yeah.
We went down the night before and rode, we got a bunch of tires up here at the Peggy Inn and rode those tires out there and set them on fire and melted us a little boat to get started out of the slough.
That's back when it got cold.
That was back when it did get cold, and that's the year the lake actually just about froze over. And
you told me a story once about Garland stripping down there and swimming to get the boat or something.
Yeah, he did that. And Garland was. I remember one time we was up at Paint Rock, and Bobby Hicks, the pharmacist, hunted with us all the time. You know, he owned George's Pharmacy, and Garland was sitting there. Bobby was sick that morning. He was just over there hacking and coughing and going on. And Garland looked over at him, you know, Bobby being a pharmacist, and he said, Bob, he said, if you stop at Robert Clem's on your way back to Rockwood, said he'll give you something for that. Yeah, he was a card. I enjoyed hunting with them guys. I miss him.
You talked about Johnny Ledford coming in there. So
Johnny hunted with us, and that was. We were working at Rome Electric together, me and Johnny. Of course, I knew Johnny from the radio station, you know, Peabody worked there. And so that would have been probably around 80, 81, right in there somewhere. And, yeah, Johnny hunted with us, and Leonard Kirby, Rick Spradlin. I mean, it was just a bunch of us that, you know, duck hunted.
It didn't stick to them like it quite did you.
No, I got bit by it early, and it's the love of my life, other than my family and God, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I've took a bunch of people over the years, and some of them are just.
It's one of them sports that the first time you go, you're either gonna like it or love it.
You know,
most of the time.
Like Wendell. Wendell. He's one duck hunting if it's killing them.
That's one of them.
He loves it.
Oh yeah. And,
I was that way for a long time, but I've slacked off for the last few years.
Yeah, you've got to get back in the groove. You're missing out on a lot of good times and memories.
Some bad years on the bar got me down.
The bad years on the bar will do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's to me now it's just going and taking the grandkid, and Gavin Evans hunts with Jace all the time, and we just go down there and have a blast.
You can watch those two grow up from babies in the duck line.
Oh yeah.
And that's two that bit them early. They'll always be duck hunters.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of hunting on the bar, let's talk about old Hank Fox for a minute.
Old Hank, yeah. Me and Hank hunted together for 20 years, and met Hank. I always knowed who he was because I always seen him on the lake. He hunted with Tom Ed Hickey back in, and Boone Clifton, and I got laid off at Rome Electric when they shut down, and I went to work at Hackney Ingram in Rockwood, and it was a wholesale food chain, and it's HT Hackney, you know, now, and Hank come in one day. Me and Bobby Hicks had planned a trip to Reelfoot, and Hank come in, and he said, "Hey, I heard that you guys are going to Reelfoot." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got room for one more?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that won't be no problem." And so me and Hank just kind of hit it off, and
you said that was around 1980?
Yeah, I was right around 80, 81, right in there. And
working at the courthouse back then?
Yeah, he was working at the courthouse, and we hunted together 20 years after that.
Yeah. And I started hunting with you all in Hank, I guess Louisiana, early 90s.
Yeah, I had a lease down there in Mer Rouge, Louisiana.
One of the best shots with a gun I've ever been around Hank.
Oh yeah, he was an excellent shot. Yeah.
Except one more than that, on Fuji Point, his gun hung up on a mallard, and I come up, took care of it, and banned it.
I bet that he got a kick out of that.
Rubbed him raw.
Yeah.
But that guy hunting in Louisiana, I don't remember him missing much.
No, he was an excellent shot.
He liked that good shot. He liked that wait for that perfect shot.
Oh, and he would wait on the perfect shot. I mean, if it wasn't just right, he wouldn't shoot. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, he didn't miss much.
Right.
That I remember.
That's right.
But we had talking about Watts Bar, you all saw some glory days.
Oh yeah. The late 70s and early 80s was probably the glory days of Watts Bar.
Yeah, I flipped through your old pictures, and it's just, these kids today wouldn't believe how good it was back then.
I've had some days on the bar that as good as any day I've had in Arkansas.
Yeah.
But they're just not as often.
Even in, probably when it slacked off for me was late 90s, closer to 2000, it just kind of dried up. I talk to Todd Wicks all the time about what happened, and I talk to you about it. And I don't know if it's the grass leaving and those ducks are just used to coming here.
I think it's a combination of several things. I don't think you can just pinpoint one thing, but I know the flyways shifted. And, of course, we don't have anything to hold them. Back then, there's a lot of cornfields over on 58 that.
A lot of grass too, I think, from the 70s.
Oh yeah.
On up in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
A lot of ducks knew that come through here.
Yeah, we had milfoil. Yeah, I remember the first time I took Alton Richards was my boss, and he wanted to go duck hunting, and on Watts Bar, and I took him down to Barker Island. At that time, Larry McCuston hunted Barker, and that was his hole. And I called Larry.
One of the most famous blinds on this lake.
Yeah,
right there.
And I asked Larry if he cared if I went. He said no. He said go ahead, and. So we got there that morning, and I remember there was a flock of gadwalls come in. It was about 50, and they lit in that milfoil pocket. It was just to the right of the blind. At that time, Barker was a pit. There was a pit, and so I told Alton, he was on his side. I said, jump him up right down there. I said, just point your gun hold it about a half inch above their heads, and I said, I'm gonna holler and get them up, and I said, when I holler, you pull the trigger. And so I hollered and got them up, and just as I hollered, he pulled the trigger, and one shot he killed the limit. He killed 6 with one shot.
That was Alton's first trip.
That was Alton's first duck hunting. He got bit pretty quick too. Yeah.
He's one of them that likes it too, him and Blake.
Oh yeah.
But talking about Barker, back we were in high school, I'd go with Jason Odell.
Yeah.
We'd go down there. Kevin Griffiths, some of those guys, and that was like, back then that was like going to the moon for us.
Oh yeah.
Been in high school, put in at Mud Creek.
Yeah.
Ride out there in the dark.
Yeah.
That was an adventure.
Oh yeah.
I went by there the other day. We were skiing and went down by there, and those birds.
They've destroyed it.
Yeah. Wiped out. It's been burnt.
That's sad.
But some great times on that little island.
Yeah, I've had some good times there.
That's big water hunting out there.
Yeah. Goat Island back in the 70s and early 80s, that was a pit on the backside of Goat Island that me and Elsie used to hunt all the time. And I remember the first pintail that I remember being killed on Watts Bar. Me and Larry was in that pit, and he shot a pintail. I remember that was the first pintail that I ever.
My first pintail was at Barker.
Yeah.
I killed 2 or 3 down there.
Yeah. Good spots back in.
And you and Hank were known for hunting Utah Point.
Yeah.
I hunted there with y'all some.
Yeah.
That's the best hunts of my life. I've been right there on that point.
Yeah, in my opinion, that was the best spot on the lake.
Oh yeah.
Because I've had some barn burners there that.
There's something about the way that just stuck out there a little bit.
Yeah, it's right on that big open water, and.
You had those Super Magnum G&8.
Oh yeah.
And they were massive.
Yeah, we used to put out 120 on that point. And you'd knock a cripple down and go out to get it and come back, and you could really see how big that spread was,
Oh, yeah.
And just a big black spot. And
it worked.
It pulled them down from way up.
Yeah, there's a lot of days you'd be sitting there in that blue sky and just you hear them coming.
Yeah.
And they'd be on you.
Yeah.
It's one of my most favorite memories hunting on Watts Bar. It wasn't a big kill, but it was one goose. on Utah Point. You wouldn't let us this mainland the middle of the week. We took your boat. I don't know if you knew or not.
No, you probably stole it.
No, I don't think we stole it. We'd ask you, I'm sure, but
Oh, you know you're welcome to use it any time.
we were sitting there, and it was on up in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock, and there's a single goose coming from the dam. I mean, it was up there. I'm sure it was a migrant. I got on him and I let him have it. Here he comes. And
Fell right in.
Wendell got up and shot that thing, and I still have a picture of Wendell
I've seen that picture.
grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah. Hey, back then it was something to kill a goose. You know, that was before they actually brought in all those and got the resident flock started. I mean, you know, back in the day, you killed a goose, you kind of throwed it in the back of the truck and hauled it around so people could see it like a deer. Yeah.
We killed a lot of geese on that point. They liked it too. They could see it.
Oh yeah.
Those big duck decoys. Well, we didn't even put any goose decoys out.
Now them geese would pull in on them super mags. I've had a bunch on the point, Utah Point, pull in on those G8 super mags.
Good times.
Oh yeah.
Let's move in.